Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Ahmad and I am student of Rehan School Kurangi campus. So my today topic is Shah the evolution of a quite common. So my today guest is Maya.
Hey, what's up?
Hi Maya. So my first question is what does Shah mean?
Hmm, let me check on that. It's a Persian title that basically means king or monarch. It actually comes from an old Persian word for ruler, and for a long time, the emperors of Iran used it. Some of them even went with Shahan Shah, which literally means king of kings. Does that sound like what you're looking for?
Why do people use Shah?
Historically, it was used to establish authority and a sense of legitimacy. It's a way of signaling that someone isn't just a leader, but a royal one with power over everything. Since it's such a heavy title, it carries a lot of weight in terms of status and history. Does it come up in something you're reading or just a random curiosity?
When do people say Shah?
Usually it's used in a historical context now. You'll hear it when people are talking about the history of Persia or Iran or maybe in a documentary. It's not really a word you'd use in a casual conversation today unless you're talking about royalty. Do you like learning about titles and how they show power?
Is Shah a word or a sound?
It's a word, a title specifically, not a symbol or a sign, just a term used to describe a king.
Does Shah mean the poet?
Exactly, like a job description that also happens to come with a crown. Since you're into the history of words, does this kind of royal stuff interest you?
Who often say Shah?
Yep, it's definitely a word, just a very fancy one.
Can teachers use Shah?
Technically, they can, but only if they're teaching a lesson on history or geography. They wouldn't use it to call someone in the classroom unless they were being really ironic. Do you think it would be funny if a teacher called a student a Shah?
Can parents use Shah at home?
Sure, but it would be a bit strange. They might use it as a joke, like if a kid is acting like they're in charge of the whole house, but it's not a normal way to talk at home. Do you think some parents would do that?
Is Shah understood in many countries?
It is, especially in places with a lot of history linked to Persian culture. It's one of those terms that's become globally recognized because of how prominent those empires were. Do you think it's easier to remember words that are connected to royal titles?
Why is silence sometimes important?
Gives you a chance to actually process what's happening. It's like a reset button for the brain. Sometimes the most important part of a conversation isn't what's said, but the space between the words. Do you feel like people rush through talking too much these days?
When should you use Shah?
Unless you're chatting about Iranian history or a specific royal figure, you probably wouldn't use it. It's really just for those specialized conversations where you're talking about the Persian monarchy.
Can Shah a polite comment?
Now, I'd be curious to hear how you pull that off. Who are you planning to call a Shah?
How do children learn this sound?
Not entirely sure I follow. Do you mean how they learn to pronounce the word or something else?
Can Shah help pupil focus?
Not really. It's just a title for a king, so it doesn't have any like special power to help someone concentrate. Why do you think it would?
Can Shah be used without speaking?
Absolutely. Some of the most powerful opinions are the ones people hold in silence. You can observe, feel, and judge something without ever saying a word.
Can Shah be used without speaking?
Not really. Since it's a word, you have to either say it or write it for it to have meaning. If you're just thinking it, then it's just a thought, not the word itself. Do you think some things can be communicated better without words?
What hand gesture often goes with Shah?
I'm a little lost. I'm not quite sure what you mean by what hand of that in relation to Shah. Could you explain it a bit more?
Is Shah used in everyday life?
Not in a normal way. It's just too specific of a title to be part of a daily routine. You'd almost never hear it unless someone is talking about history or something very formal. Does it feel like a word that belongs in the past to you?
Why is the sound easy to understand?
It's short and punchy. Just one syllable with a clear, strong sound. Doesn't leave much room for confusion when you say it. Do you find that shorter words are generally easier to pick up?
What is the purpose of a quiet command?
It's all about speed and efficiency. It cuts out the fluff so the person or machine on the other end knows exactly what to do without any guesswork. Do you usually prefer things to be direct like that?
How has Shah changed over time?
It went from being a literal job title for the most powerful people in Persia to basically being a historical term. In the beginning, it was all about raw power and ruling an empire, but now it's something you'd find in a textbook or a museum. It's funny how a word that once commanded entire armies now mostly just describes a period of history. Do you think it's strange how words can lose their actual power over time?
What did you learn about Shah?
I learned that it's a royal Persian title meaning king or monarch. It's actually rooted in Old Persian and was used by the emperors of Iran, with some even calling themselves the King of Kings. It's a word that carries a ton of history, even if it's not something you'd hear in a casual chat today.
Do you use Shah when you want silence?
No, not at all. It's just a title for a king. It doesn't have any connection to silence or asking for quiet. Are you thinking of a different word that sounds similar?
Can Shah be used in library?
Technically, yes, but you'd have to whisper it. Since it's just a word, you can say it anywhere, but a library is usually the place where you're trying not to be noticed. Do you think you'd get a funny look if you just walked up to someone and whispered Shah?
Shah understood in many countries.
It is. Because of those massive empires, it's one of those terms that's stuck in the global vocabulary. Do you think that's why it feels so familiar, even if it's not used every day?
Okay, my last question is, does Shah mean be quiet?
No, it doesn't. It means king. You might be thinking of shh, which is what people use to tell someone to be quiet.
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome.